In ancient Egypt, a beetle represented immortality and revival. Today, animals symbolize biodiversity, a cultural and biological balance which is quite difficult to maintain in our modern society in any form. Maintaining biodiversity is one of the main objectives of UNESCO. Jessica Bunning and Mario Hernandez work together in the remote sensing unit of the organization's headquarters in Paris. They're examining a three-dimensional map of a listed World Heritage Site in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Thanks to data from Envisat, an ESA satellite circling the Earth at 800 kilometers altitude, the map is a complete working tool. It allows them to visualize the vegetation patterns on the rivers in a wide area of equatorial Africa, which is very difficult to access.
Well, this is an image of the maps that were first provided to the World Heritage Centre when the World Heritage Site of Biega was inscribed. As you can see, it's a very simple map. There's not a lot of detail. It's more resembling a drawing.
Today, satellite observations of the area have turned it into a complete map. This is the famous Japanese garden of the UNESCO headquarters, where Mario Hernandez manages the remote sensing unit. He's talking with ESA expert Diego Fernandez Prieto. Both institutions closely cooperate in the field of Earth observation. It's important to understand that most of the sites listed by UNESCO in less developed countries haven't useful maps to follow through. In DRC, for example, the sites are so wide and difficult to access that it's impossible to inspect them daily or even once in a month. I think that in this case, satellite images are very useful in order to constantly observe the site and detect any threat on time. The archive is located at Esrin in Frascati, not far from Rome. It includes data not just from European satellites, but also from other space agencies around the globe that collaborate with ESA. There are several steps concerning our work with UNESCO. We first listen to the users to know what kind of information they may need. For instance, which type of map they need to fulfill their mission. Earth observation is a technology that allows us to watch our planet in several levels, global, regional and even local. We do it with ESA satellites like ERS and Envisat, but also with other satellites that belong to other agencies, because ESA wants to move the European user closer to our satellites and to other satellites as well.
Europeo, no solo los satélites nuestros, pero también los satélites de otras agencias.
Water is a fundamental issue in Africa. For example, satellite observations show clearly that Lake Chad in sub-Saharan Africa is drying out more year after year. This is due to local agriculture using its water for irrigation, and also because of the year-long drought in the region. It just doesn't rain enough to replenish the water reserves of the lake. In this case, satellite images clearly demarcate the risk zones for the heritage site. Our task is to work in constant contact with the site's conservation authorities, and especially we're helping less developed countries by seeing to it that developed countries give us support to materialize this help to these countries. Because the site's conservation authorities aren't able to do it. Satellites above the heads of 6.5 billion humans on Earth expand our field of vision, taking the pulse of global change and ringing the alarm bell when necessary for what appears to be the most important heritage of humanity, Earth itself.